What's up out there, Buff Nation? How are you guys today? Let's jump right into our main story today, which is about Yakiri Walker. Now, he was recently on the DNVR show and revealed something pretty special I think a lot of people are missing. We'll link that show in the description. It's about 45 minutes long. If you haven't watched it yet, you should go do that. Really, really good interview. But there's a part in it that I think people are not really aware of. We'll talk about that in just a moment. For those who may have forgotten, Yakiri was one of the first to transfer to the Buffs. He's originally from the state of Texas. He played in all 12 games for UConn in 2023. He had 797 snaps for the Huskies. He had a PFF pass block grade of 70 or higher in 5 games. He was up in the 80s, according to PFF, twice. He was the number 8 interior offensive lineman, according to 247 Sports, when he transferred, and he does have 2 years of eligibility remaining. However, what I took from his interview, the most pressing and impressive part of his interview was what he said about Pat Shurmur, Colorado's offensive coordinator. He said, and I'll quote him directly, he said, "We talk a lot about some of the plays, the cadences, but me and him definitely connect. We connect a lot, like we're really close." The interviewer followed up by saying he notices that a lot of the players are really close with Shurmur. Yakiri responded back, "He's that coach that gets you going, motivates you. When you're feeling down, you can step into his office and talk about anything. Even outside of football, he's a great dude." Yakiri re-emphasized and emphasized his point over and over and over again about the impression that Coach Shurmur had made on him. And I want to talk about that a little bit today. Everyone questioned Coach Prime with the Sean Lewis situation, with Sean Lewis no longer calling plays, with Sean Lewis almost kind of being demoted or given a lesser role toward the end of the year last year. Everyone wanted to know why. Why would you do that, Coach Prime? This is a young, budding offensive coordinator who might end up being great one day. Why would you limit him now? Well, this is no shot at Coach Lewis, but this obviously happened for a reason. And Coach Lewis has moved on and has a new role now. We wish him all the best there. But for those that were questioning Coach Prime and wondering why he would do this, there certainly was a reason. And I'm not meaning this to talk crap or take a shot, but could the reason have been the way that he related to his players? Could it have been one of the factors that led Coach Prime to elevating Shurmur and kind of de-elevating Coach Lewis? Possibly. Shurmur absolutely has his guys' respect. And no matter how the guys felt about Lewis, whether that's part of the equation or not, it is really impressive to me to hear Yakiri and others talk about this. It's awesome that Walker and others feel like they can go to him at literally any time. You hear bosses or managers or coaches or just whomever say, "I've got an open door policy. You can come to me with any problem at any time, and I'll always be there for you." How many times have you heard that? And then all it ends up being is lip speak. It ends up just being a bunch of hot air that really isn't true. Well, it sounds like that truly is the case there in Boulder. And it sounds like Shurmur is one of the best on the staff at relating to the players. That open door policy is going to help in several ways. What these players are asked to juggle right now between school, NIL, workouts, playbooks, actual playing ball, social lives, girlfriends, friends, parties, all of these things is nuts. It's a lot of pressure on these kids. And that's why there's such a mental health awareness right now in college athletics. But Shurmur's been there. He's coached at every single level. He's dealt with every single personality type that you could imagine, from high school to college to the NFL. And at the end of the day, if you're comfortable with your coach, you're going to be in a better place mentally. If you trust him more, it's going to impact the way that you play on the field. It's going to impact the way that you do your assignments. It's going to impact the way that you listen to your coach. You're going to be more relaxed, and it is going to be better for everyone involved. He also spoke about how Coach Shurmur has gotten guys to where they want to go before, and how that is something that he appreciates, something that he values, something that he wants in a coach. I think that speaks to some of the respect level. But respect is a two-way street. It certainly must be earned, and nothing is just given. But the fact that Coach Shurmur has their respect is also echoed because they have Coach Shurmur's respect. It certainly goes both ways, and you can see that in Walker's statements. Coach Prime has repeatedly spoken about developing these young men as more than just football players, developing them as people first, developing them as the future leaders of our society, of our country, of their communities, of their families first, and then developing them as football players. See, as much negativity as there is around things that Coach Prime does, or things that Coach Prime's sons do, or things that Travis does, or things that anyone does, stories like this often get missed. Stories about his humanity often get missed because it's not salacious, because people don't click on it, because people don't say, oh, let's blow this up. Oh, Coach Prime said something that we're going to twist and reinterpret this way, or not necessarily show you the full truth. That gets clicks. That gets people to tune in. That gets salacious headlines. But when Coach Prime makes a hire that absolutely changes the lives for the better of his players and the kids who the parents of the Buffs have entrusted to take care of their own children, that doesn't get the same kind of recognition. It's obvious why. We understand why the media and folks like Whitlock and just whomever like to twist things to their own accord. But when there's something like this, and Yakiri said this in about a 30-second span on a video in an interview, which again, you should go watch. We'll link it down in the description. That gets passed right over. When he talks about how much different and how he's acclimating to Boulder and how he's acclimating to his team and his coaches and Coach Shurmur, all of that gets missed. We don't give that the same kind of attention, and for obvious reasons. It's not as sexy. It's not as glamorous. But Coach Prime is doing something truly special, and we've talked a lot about the different things that have gone on in Boulder, from the transfer portal to NIL to high school recruiting to the actual games on the field to what Coach Prime is doing off the field. And the Coach Shurmur hire may end up being one of the better moves that he has made. We'll see how it all shakes out in the future. We'll see how it all shakes out once the game gets played, because ultimately Coach Prime's job is in Boulder to win games. But it seems a lot like he's taking the right steps to get his teams and his players ready to do just that in the fall. We have got a long way to go until fall gets here, and I appreciate every single one of you that is part of the channel and part of this Coach Prime army that we've got building here. We look forward to creating more content for you and continuing on. Leave me a comment down below on what kind of coverage you want to see from the channel. And during this offseason, when we've got some time open and available, we'll do our very best to get to that. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. We'll talk to you soon, and thank you for watching the Prime Time for college football.